everybody, this is JD, and today I'm going to talk to you about several things. First, about what one person said to one of my emails. Who the heck are you? What rock did you crawl out of? I told them, same stupid rock you crawled out of. Only difference is that I don't like what I see happening to my country, and I think it's time we, the people, take action and do something about it. But really, who am I? What am I doing all these videos for? A waste of your time and my time? Or is it full of information for you? Bottom line is, you, the people, have to understand. Our government has gone astray because we allowed it. Yes, the rich bought it. And anyone who says, oh, the two-party system has been serving us well, is either a fool, dummy, or just plain don't know enough to figure out left or right. The reason I say that is because you see, with a two-party system, the rich only have to buy two parties. A little bit of money here and a little bit of money there, and both parties are now in their pocket. They have full control. Where if we had a multiple no-party system, they'd have to buy everybody. Think, 100 and something people ran for president in 2008 and 2012. Well, they'd have to pay off 100 and something people. Now this rich doesn't look so rich. Bottom line is, people, the two-party system has been failing us when man started approaching $1 billion worth. I didn't say at $1 billion, I said approaching. 750 million or somewhere around there. When men started having their worth and companies their worth greater than nations, they could afford to buy the two-party system. They have bought it. It's completely paid for, lock, stock, and barrel. That's one thing that's going wrong. So the two-party system is no longer serving us at all. Not even close. But then who am I? One person said, you know, you're like these guys who come up with a lot of theories, but you're not giving specifics. And then I look at his Facebook site, and he has all these videos. And I'm looking through them. I said, okay, I've seen that one, I've seen that one, I've seen that one. Yes, I know about that one. Yes, I know about that one. Yes, he had nothing there that was original. Sure, I could go and zap you all with all these videos that you have already seen. There's a lot of facts out there. But what good is that? Facts you already know. You want to know about tomorrow. That I can't give you facts on. All I can tell you is what I will do. And I constantly say, I will drag you to Washington, D.C. Your voice will be heard, whether you like it or not, and Congress is going to listen whether they like it or not. You might say, how can you do that as president? You're only one man. That's right, I'm only one. But you see, you are my party, each and every one of you. And I better please each and every one, so your voice is going to be there. Once we eliminate the two-party system out of Congress, everything will change around towards the individual. Once it becomes individuals, each congressman will start realizing, hey, I got to deal with my constituent. These rich people aren't going to pay me all this money anymore. They're the ones who are going to do it, instead of me getting paid a whole bunch of money and telling you a bunch of bull stories, and then after I get elected, forget that I even talked to you. Because that's what's happening. If you don't believe me, listen to what Obama said. Listen to what he says. The problem with Obama comes down to this. The average, everyday, middle, hard-working American, I'm not even saying middle class, because you go from the bottom almost to the rich. You're all in there. He totally forgets about the poor and the multi-rich. He knows. But you, the hard-working, average American, most of you, he forgets about. His programs are either to help the rich and somewhat help the poor, but mostly to help the rich. But he'll blame it on the Republican Party because then he can get away with it. That instead of saying, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, he says, this is all I can get through the Republican Party. This is all I can get passed because of the Republican Party. He puts the blame on others for his failures. And this is truly my opinion. The only thing I know positively, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that in 2008, he copied a lot of my videos and put them on TV in his name. You don't have to believe me on that. You just go to 2008, June to November, and listen to my videos. And if they don't sound like Obama's TV commercials, then you could call me a liar. But if they do sound like Obama's TV commercials, then you could call him a liar. That's your choice. But who am I? Well, if you go to YouTube, there's over 600 videos, and if you don't know who I am, if you go through all those, you'll never know who I am. But what are some of the things that I've talked about? Well, I'm going to attach some videos to this video, and they're going to deal with the sales tax, which they seem to have forgotten to talk about, because that's the most equitable tax program there is. See, the sales tax, the rich people haven't figured out how to get around it. So it's not going to happen right now or anytime soon. Because, like I said, the two-party system, the rich control it. Then I'm going to put in a few other videos like, sales tax, Medicare, Social Security. Why Social Security is a sound program. It's not an entitlement. It is a supplemental insurance program in which you, the working class, pays for. Every time you get your paycheck, they take some money out for Social Security. And they take money out for Medicare. You pay for it all through your life. And then when you reach 65, you get it. If you're on Social Security, you get Medicare whether you want it or not. I have an insurance that's costing me, because of my Navy retirement and everything, $44 a month. I got a family plan. That's pretty cheap. But now, because I'm 65 and getting Social Security, I have to get Medicare, which is $140 a month. But because of my wife and daughter, I still have to get the family plan, TRICARE Prime. It's $44 a month. So I'm still getting my family plan that I have to get, but I'm no longer allowed to be on it. And I'm paying $140 a month for Medicare, which I really don't need, but I'm getting. That's the government way of doing things. Now, what else am I about? Well, I'm against the institutionalizing of the American government system. I'm against them becoming to a point where they're getting very close to where the people exist for the government, not the government exists for the people. That is happening slowly. When it completely happens, then NWO or New World Order will move right in, because that's what it's all about, institutionalizing. The good for the masses is good for everybody. Instead of, if it's not good for the individual, it's not good enough to be in this country. That's what we're about. If it's what's good for the individual. That's another thing. I believe in each and every one of us. But who am I? Well, I'm James D. Creveau, commonly referred to as JD. Everyday average person who got laid off in 2009, who's now going to college at Tidewater Community College on business administration or business management, and next spring I should be graduating. This summer I'm taking off because I got to go to a family reunion. After that, in the fall I take some courses, and in the spring I take my final courses, and I'm done, and I get my little degree. But Who am I really? What makes me different than you? Well, that's the success of our whole idea. I'm not different than you. I am the same as you. I go through the same struggles as you. And I know what's going on around me. I could come up and state thousands of things over and over again. I mean, do you remember Watergate? That was our first almost impeachment. Then we had Clinton. Now that was ridiculous, to put it mildly, because my answer to the Senate committee would be, am I over 18? Yes. Was she over 18? Yes. Is the White House my home? Yes. Was it consensual on both sides? Yes. Then it's none of your business. It's between me, my wife, my religious leader, and the other person. And nobody else. And I don't give a doggone. You can ask any questions. That is my answer. We're both consenting adults. We did what we did in my house, in the privacy of my home. So I don't want to hear anything you have to say about it. It's none of your business. That's what I would have told the Senate. Of course, they would have got upset with me and said, oh, the White House is. Nope. As long as you place me in there as my home, it is my home. And I have rights. If you want to say, oh, no, you don't, then I'll move out right now and I'll go live somewhere else. And let you guys figure out what you want to do with that multi-million-dollar white building that you say is not my home. That is the president's home, and it will be treated as such as long as I'm president. That's what I would have told the Senate. Because you see, I believe in the sanctity of a home. And it's easy to defend the sanctity of a home when you believe it inside. So what does that mean towards you, the individual? I believe in the sanctity of your home too. And the government has no right to be in there. Period. But who am I? What rock did I crawl out from under? Well, the same rock everybody else crawled out from under. And unfortunately, I don't like what I see with our government. What can I do to change it? By myself, absolutely nothing. But together, we can. And together, we will put our government back on the right track and have it start performing the functions it should be. One, where the Constitution says we got to regulate the world. I don't think it does. Self-interest, they're trying to squeeze it in on that. Well, when the self-interest means regulating the world and saying frig it to the American people, something's wrong there. That ain't what the Constitution says. First and foremost is the American people. First and foremost is the care of the people. First and foremost is the economy of the United States of America, not the rest of the world. Well, you know, there's hungry people throughout the world, and there's none in the United States. Remember, first and foremost is the United States. Let every child in this country not go to bed hungry, then we could talk about feeding the world. But let one child in this country go to bed hungry, I'm sorry, Congress, you're there to serve the people, not the world. So, what about Social Security? Well, I got a video on Social Security. And they say, well, it's going to go broke. No, it's not going to go broke. What's going to go is some of these pet peeves they may want because they spent the money to finance wars the people would not accept. Namely, the Vietnam War. They took all the money out of it, or most of it. And they've been using it for this and that and this and that since then. Well, that don't go. And what about us going to countries and starting wars? Well, who has the right to decide what type of government belongs in a country? Congress? You do? No. The people living in that country. Like, for example, let's use Syria. They do not want their government they got now. They are saying, no, we want to help them. We can. They have to do the work. It's their country. Look at Iraq. We went in there, started a war, went after Hussein, killed him and his people. Now everybody in Iraq is killing each other. We messed up the whole country. The people were happy with the government they had. What gave us the right to go in? And then somebody could say Afghanistan. All I got to say for Afghanistan is called the Twin Towers. If you could show me the Twin Towers in New York City at the lower end of Manhattan, I'll say, yeah, we had no right. Otherwise, we had the right to go in there and level that country from border to border. And that's what we should have done. Because they harbored the criminals that did that to us. We have the right to defend ourselves. And that's what we would have been doing. We wouldn't be waging war on an innocent bystander like Iraq. We'd be waging war on those who perpetrated and attacked us, like Afghanistan. The secret to peace is to make war so dreadful those who wish to attack won't. Yes, that's the secret to peace. So when the Twin Towers fell, Afghanistan would have bled from border to border and mourn for the souls that died. Because they'd be mourning for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people. Yes, that's what war is about. Not going in there and doing government changes. Not going in there and telling people how to live. So, how do I feel about things like that? You got a quick synopsis. Bottom line is, we don't need an institutionalized government. We don't need a government to regulate and run the world. We don't need a government that cares for only the rich and the really poor and forgetting about the people in the middle. No, I'm no different than you out there. The only difference is that we together, with me as president, can fix, maintain, and do the changes needed. And yes, I'm a presidential candidate. That's the difference. And it can be done, people. But you have to decide it. What do you got to do? Well, first you got to get a bunch of signatures. A whole bunch of people. At least 100,000 signatures from throughout the country. Preferably a lot more. You got to get those signatures. You can mail them to me. You have my address. 1546 Nicola Avenue, Norfolk, Virginia, 23502. Just address it to JD or James Dennis Cravo or Cravo or JD Cravo. Anything you want. But you put it there and you send all those signatures and then I'll send them all to Washington. Then I'll get on the ballot. Then we got to start a campaign. But we, not me, you. Telling people, while you're getting your signatures, tell people to go to J.D. Cravo on YouTube. Check him out. See what he's really about. There's over 600 videos. If you can't figure out what I'm about by then, you'll never figure it out. And I'm keeping my promise. Every video I made is still there. Bottom line. Oh, that's another thing. I do keep my word, it seems. Oh, well. That's the way life is. And I can't lie either. Maybe, anyone who says they don't lie is a liar. I try not to lie. But if I'm not going to tell you the truth, and I know I'm not telling you the truth, I will tell you, ask me no questions, I tell you no lies. That's who I am. That's who JD is. Nobody's special, but yet someone very special. Nothing outstanding, but yet there is something very outstanding about me. Average, hardworking, and someone who believes in each and every individual in this country. So I'm attaching some videos from YouTube with this video and a little write-up. Check them out. See what they're about. But above all else, remember, it's you that's got to make the difference. I could quote to you all the different things. Everything from Monsanto to chemtrails to pollution to global warming to political thievery to Watergate to Obamagate, whatever, you can't call it gate, but Obama lies, cover-ups, they're all there. And every president before him has done something. So bottom line is, people, who am I? When you find out, you'll be very proud to say, I want this man for president of this country. Because I know him and I can make this country great again. And I don't mean great with the gun. I mean great that the world wants to imitate what we are. To imitate us is the greatest compliment you can ever be given. I don't expect us to go out into the world and tell them what kind of government these people in other countries have or should have, because that's not our job. Our job is to make the United States, for the people of the United States, the best country it could possibly be. And allow the other countries throughout the world, and accept the other countries throughout the world as they are. Because it's up to the people of those countries throughout the world to decide what type of government they want. Not our Congress, not our Senate, not even the president. We have a job to do in this country. We can do it. And I will never apologize for the United States. Sorry, people, I will never, ever apologize for the United States. I will admit we made mistakes, but who hasn't? I will admit we've done some terrible blunders, but what country hasn't? But I will not apologize, because as we stumble our way, we make ourselves a little bit better and a little bit better. We just need to start realizing where our borders are and allow the rest of the world to be who they are. Thank you. This is JD, and yes, I am a presidential candidate, but only you can do that. So go out there and get those signatures. Tell people about me. Let them look at my videos and have them sign on. Fill out that paperwork, name, and just put on the top, I want JD Cravo, JD, James Dennis Cravo, put all three of them as my presidential candidate for 2016. And I will mail them all to the Federal Election Commission and go from there. But you have to do it. Go out there, get those signatures, get people to check me out, and we will get rolling. But remember, if I get elected, you are coming with me. Each and every one of you. Because Washington's going to hear your voice. Thank you, and have a nice day. And you all remember, who am I? Someone just like you. Where did I come from? I guess I crawled out of the same rock. Out from under the same rock you guys crawled out from under. And we all have this one thing in common. We believe in our country. We believe in our Constitution. We believe in our flag. And darn it, if we're not going to let the government or the foreign nations try to take control of the United States of America and our Constitution. Have a nice day. This is JD.